Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. This is 211. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Mary Rachel. And I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored is my way of showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities or disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still mount to something no matter what. So that being said, half hour, 45 minutes every time. You can say anything you want. Gloves off. You're making a new friend and supporting a good cause. So starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Ooh, well, you did a nice introduction. I'm Mary Rachel. My nickname is May Ray. I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. I come from a big Greek family, so I love to cook. I'm very outgoing. I love to be in nature, hang out with friends, watch movies. Obviously, that transitions into my career. I'm pursuing acting, writing, and producing. I studied at USC. I had a major in theater and a double minor in business and film production. So since I graduated in 2013, I've been here in LA just going for it. And so far, it's actually been pretty successful. It was kind of, that first uphill grind of getting those credits, kind of getting your name out there. And yeah, now my company's doing pretty well. We've got a few projects actually that we're coming out with this year. I have a movie premiere event actually next Tuesday for one of my films that we're releasing finally, so I'm really excited. And yeah, kind of just like what you were briefly touching on, Keith, about not giving up on your dreams. I'm pursuing mine, so I won't have to look back and wonder what if. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, when you were growing up, were you a party animal or study nerd going to high school and college years? And did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids?
Those human, are you talking about like cheerleading pyramid? No. Actually, yeah. Yes, I wasn't a cheerleader, actually, no. I was an athlete in high school. I actually did a lot of sports, and I actually had that confliction too because I wanted to do theater as well. So I kind of lived that high school musical drama of like, oh, you have to pick. You can't do both. And I decided to, screw the school. And I was like, I'm going to do both. And I did. And I was able to do the musical and play basketball. That was hard, but I made it work. I was like, these are my two passions. Who's to say that I couldn't do both? But anyway, the first question you'd asked me was study nerd or party animal. To be honest, I was a good mix. Like I said, I'm very outgoing based on my culture too. I love being around people and community. So socializing was important for me. But my studies always came first. I was a type A personality. So like I think I graduated with a 4.5 GPA. I pretty much had straight A's across the board. There was one B plus that I had on my report card because of one jerk of a teacher. I don't even want to go into it, but he pretty much screwed us all over, and everybody going into the final had like high A's, and he made the final extremely hard, and he had questions on there about some books that we hadn't even we barely touched on. So everyone failed. I think the average on that final was a D, a 50% or 60%. So everyone's grades dropped from A's to B's, and then he just didn't care. He was like, well, you have to learn that you can't be perfect. But I would have been valedictorian if he didn't give me that B plus. But anyway, definitely was a study nerd. The human pyramid thing, that happened actually in a short film that I did for a friend. It was kind of a joke. One of the characters was not a cheerleader at all. I was playing a cheerleader, but she was trying out for the team, and they had us do this human pyramid, but she was terrible at it. And so she would plank board across us. So she was literally kind of jumping across us and not even doing the pyramid. and she was like digging her elbows and her like knee into my back, and I was supposed to be like, "Oh, what the heck are you doing?" So that's kind of my human pyramid experience.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
They're hard to do. I was like, I definitely tipped my cap off to some cheerleaders. I'm like, that's a lot of strength, especially to get up to the top. Like, I can't imagine being the one that gets up on the top. That's quite impressive.
Well, if you're interested, maybe one day we can do one.
Oh my gosh. Keith, handle yourself there.
Well, that's not what I meant by it.
I'm kidding, I know. What's a good group? I'm wondering, like, what's the largest human pyramid ever done?
Oh, the smallest one I would say is like there's the 3-person, the 6, the 10, and I think 15 or 20.
Really? I feel like that's a question for the Guinness Book of World Records. the largest human pyramid.
Oh, it's kind of funny we're on subject pyramids. Okay. I actually came up with the idea of entering the Guinness Book of World Records.
Really?
Or doing like a human pyramid. See how many girls I can get together to do like a large pyramid.
Really?
Oh. And, we did a demo interview a couple of years ago, and we mentioned it. And it's like, well, if you're interested in helping me do that, it looks good on you and it looks good on me. So, hey, life is about doing stupid things. So why not do something you gotta enjoy, right?
How many people did you get to come out?
None so far.
Oh.
So I'm still working on it.
Where are you based again? You're on the East Coast.
Yeah, New York.
New York! I have yet to get there. I've been out of the country, I've traveled the world, but I have yet to make it to New York yet. It's on my bucket list.
Well, maybe we can hang out one day.
Yeah, hit you up. Where are you based in New York?
Woodbury Commons near West Point.
I have no idea where that is, but I'm sure I could find it.
Well, I do have a couple ideas for you after the show, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, of course.
But I'm going to the next subject, and when I mention human pyramids, I don't mean anything perverted, so...
I was pulling your leg, I'm kidding.
Just in case our listeners are like, oh, he really likes to do those pyramids.
Yeah, what is it about those pyramids?
Anyway, the next question I was going to ask you is, what age did you become an actress? Who influenced you? And how did all that come about? How did you start your career?
Oof. I mean, there's some classic movies growing up that just, that became my world. Like, it's like I jumped myself into the screen, into the movie. It was that, like, Titanic would be a perfect example. Kate Winslet, she was a huge idol for me. Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock, she's another just huge inspiration. And they're actually examples of women that, I mean, they've gone through a lot. I mean, to kind of build their name in Hollywood. But once that one movie hit, it was like they could do anything, and they've done everything. They've done thrillers, they've done comedies, dramas, horror movies. Like, there's not one on their list that they haven't done. So I would say they were my biggest inspirations growing up. And I started in dance. I started really young, like when I was 5 or 6, doing tap, jazz, ballet, and then dancing. I just loved it so much. I kind of transitioned into musical theater. I'd never really been classically trained, but I kind of held my own, and I just started to kind of learn singing, being around it. And then from there, I was like, oh, I love this. I love the theater. I want to continue to pursue it. So obviously, I carried that through to high school, and then I was like, oh, you can study it in college. There are theater schools. And so I just went for it. I just started applying to all sorts of theater schools. I actually got into NYU, and I hadn't heard back from USC. Those were my top 2. And if I didn't get into USC, I would have been in New York. But I got into USC, so that obviously kept me here in California. But yeah, I think I've always wanted to perform. I've always wanted to act. And that's why I'm really glad I studied at USC, because now I learned on the business side of it, like kind of how Hollywood works. And it really is all networking. And so now I kind of have more of a business mind going into it, so I'm not as disappointed, if things don't happen for me. And I believe that, if the projects are meant to be, they'll be. And you can't be discouraged. You got to just take the no's, and I feel like it's a numbers game. The more no's you get, the yeses will come.
No, absolutely. It's kind of funny you mentioned the college video you went for the UFC. Mm-hmm. And that's not ultimate fighting or anything, but but I remember they did something with the women's channel, We Network, and I think it was like the cheerleader U. It was season 2 that we were working with them, and it was on TV. I don't know what happened to that. That was one of my favorite seasons, but unfortunately, can't find it anywhere. Right? Something probably happened with that to pull the episodes. But was it you went there? So was there any like camera crews around? It's a big popular school, right?
Oh, all the time, Keith. Oh my gosh! Like they've How to Get Away with Murder, United States of Terra with Toni Collette. She's actually another big idol of mine. They filmed a lot of movies there too. It's kind of a common collegiate campus look that I think filmmakers really like. So there's sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'm like, wait, that's PD, or like, oh my gosh, wait, I used to hang out in that courtyard. I'll randomly see USC like movie. Kind of funny.
Oh, sorry about that. I had my window open. Some asshole on the bike.
Are you kidding? I live in Hollywood, so I've got, we call them the ghetto birds, the helicopters. They're always coming. I've actually been really lucky so far. Let's knock on wood and hope that it stays relatively quiet.
Now I gotta pass the show over to you. I'm not trying to change it up. I'm gonna pass it back to you. You can ask me anything you want, any hard-hitting subjects, questions. Like I said, you're supporting a good cause and you're making a new friend at the same time, so this is your time after all.
Okay, well, I got one question for you. Are you a Marvel fan?
Yeah, I do like DC too, but yes.
In the back, you have I can see like a corner of your Marvel poster. Right. Which one is that? Is it all the superheroes?
Yeah, I can show you actually.
Yes, whoa, it literally is all of them.
I do want to get the DC one.
Okay, and Spider-Man is front and center. Can I just comment on that? That is glorious. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero all time. I will argue to my grave why he's the best superhero.
Okay, I would love to hear it.
Okay, well, for me, I think he's got one of the coolest suits, and his story, I mean, a lot of the superhero stories are really, really dark, and for me, I feel like Spider-Man kind of always was one that was a little more hopeful for me. I mean, even though the girl stuff, his romantic life, it always kind of falls through, but he's funny. Like, and some of the comics that I've read, like, I just think that he's hilarious. He always, like, cracks a joke, even when he's, like, in crazy scenarios. And I also think that the villains in the Spider-Man series are, to me, I just think they're the most creative and, like, wild villains that any superhero has to, like, come across. And all he has is, like, himself, really, and, like, his webs, and I just feel like he's one of those superheroes that doesn't have all the gadgets, and he doesn't have all the extra things and accessories to, like, get him out of trouble. Like, he just does it because he's Spider-Man. He's just a badass, super strong and awesome, and yeah, you don't even know he's there half the time. That's my other thing. He's very sneaky.
So he's basically like Batman.
He's what?
He's basically like Batman.
He's not like Batman.
Well, besides not being rich and everything, but he uses his wits and everything.
He uses what?
Batman uses his wits.
His wits. Yes. Okay, that they relate on. Yes. They're very, very smart. But no, I was like, whoa. First off, that's funny because my brother is a big Batman fan, so we always go back and forth about who's better, and we jokingly were like, they should have a movie where it's Batman versus Spider-Man, and we see who wins.
Oh, that would be good. Now, what variations of Spider-Man do you like? Do you like the normal one? Do you like him in the black suit? The metal one? The iron?
Yeah, there's so many. I like the original, to be honest. I do think the black one's that one's pretty cool. And like when they incorporate Venom as well.
Right.
I do like that, but I don't know about the other ones, the Iron one. Like I said, then it just goes into the, like comparing to Iron Man and all the other superheroes, and I just like normal, raw Spider-Man.
I would say.
But,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, he's just all sticky and clingy and shit.
I won't mention the name where I work in, but I can tell you afterwards. But the store I work in, there's two Spider-Mans I really like. It's what was it? It's like the red mask, but it has the yellow eyes, the iron one.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite one, I like the 2099.
Oh.
That one's really cool. I think that has a lot of potential to it if they do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, to be honest, I haven't seen any of the newer Spider-Man movies. I probably should just surrender and watch them, but I don't know why. I really liked the first few.
Honestly, you're not missing much. Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man. The other ones, they're just terrible.
I'm so glad you said that. That's how I feel. He will forever be the Spider-Man. I don't think they're going to stop. Marvel, literally, I think they're going to come out with like 6 movies of every. And then now there's the Civil War one. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen the trailers for that, but that actually looks pretty good. But it confuses me because I'm like, there's so many superheroes that I don't know about. Like, what is going on?
I can tell you how it ends or what happens.
Don't ruin it for me.
But that's why I like DC Comics. So when they did you ever see Justice League Unlimited?
No, I didn't see that one.
That's the best one because he had other heroes. He had Fire and Ice.
Mm.
He had Vigilante, who's a cowboy. The Shining Knight, who's like a knight. Hawk and Dove. I don't know if they're gay or something. I really don't know what the story is with them. But there's all these different heroes like Catman and Vixen.
Catwoman? What? I know Catwoman, but
yeah, there's a Catman.
Okay, fair enough. Where's the Spider Woman? Then that's my question. We need a Spider Woman.
No, that would be really good if they do a Spider Woman movie.
I'll be it. I'll do it.
But well, we answered 2 questions. Actually, 2 questions thrown together, but DC had all these different heroes. That's why I liked it, because it wasn't based on the big 7. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Okay, it's fine in the beginning, but then it's kind of redundant. But I would like to know about Dr. White. I would like to know about, Hawk and Dove. I would like to know about all these other heroes. Now, going back to Marvel, same thing. I would like to see a Moon Knight movie. I would like to see what they're working on, Black Panther. That should be really good.
Yeah.
And there's other heroes that you can focus on that you never got a chance to get the spotlight, but now they do.
Nice. That's very true. Well said. I think all the comic fans out there will appreciate that.
It's true. Was there anything else you want to talk about? Any other subjects? This is your time, after all.
I mean, do you have any other questions for me, or do you want me to ask? Am I the interviewer now?
Well, we can take turns. So, like I said, you're making a new friend out of it, so gloves off.
Well, yeah, I guess what got you into doing these interviews? What inspired you to want to reach out to? Is it just creative artists that you interview, or do you interview other type of business people, or what? Yeah, kind of what's your vision with this whole project?
All right. Well, you want a long story or a short story?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, the long story, will we be here for another hour, or a short story? Just give me in a nutshell, I guess, what your main passion was.
When I was in high school, I was always a part of the audiovisual department, and it's actually wrapping up. And then, I forgot I had another interview scheduled.
Oh, well, hey, you're gonna just toss me like that, Keith? Huh? In and out, you're done?
Well, you're.
I'm kidding.
Well, to make a long story short, I was basically I'm trying to find the words because I was stuttering.
I know, no, I threw you off. It's my fault, not your fault.
Well, I'm distracted by your beauty.
Oh, that's too sweet. Oh, okay.
Basically, for the longest time, I got tired of using my learning disability as a crutch. Can't do this, I can't do that. So one day I was like, fuck it, I'm going to show people that even with a learning disability, I can still amount to something. So during that time, I was back in high school. I used certain people as an inspiration. And I was like, well, they're making videos. I want to make videos too. So I started off doing fan-made parodies, taking Spider-Man and X-Men, or what if Batman met Kingpin and the other ones. Like, well, that's great. I used you for a perfect example. I started making fan-made parodies like Dumbo and Jumblebug. Yeah. And it's like, okay, you did it, and you did it better. Now we have two people doing the same thing. It's like, okay, that's fine, but I want to do something different. I have a learning disability. Instead of using it as a crutch, saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't go to college, blah, 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 blah. Everyone heard the speech before. Oh, I'm going to turn the strength into a weakness. So that's why I created my own talk show, and I interviewed, thanks to you, up to 211 people. I have, well, realistically it was 300, but that's another story. But now I'm back to 211. I interview actors, actresses, models, CEOs, professional wrestlers, dancers, cheerleaders, everyone and everyone. And I interview white people, black people, Spanish people, Asians. It doesn't really matter what color or race. Everyone, I cover all my bases. So everyone has a chance. I like giving people a chance. And I went for the list. And recently I was like, well, why not interview some Gothic girls? So I tried, and I got a couple. But the other ones are like, yeah, they don't speak English. They used I don't speak the English card. Just say you don't want to be a guest. Just be upfront with me. It's like, I think what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make up some excuses. But, I recently came up with a new segment of interviewing Gothic girls, or the Gothics in general. I call it GWO. I'm a fan of the NWO. Instead of NWO, New World Order, it's now Gothic World Order. So it's all black and white. I'm sitting here with some black sunglasses and black. It's really nice to do a different segment. Nice. After going to Comic-Con, I wanted to do something different. I said, wouldn't it be interesting to interview cosplayers? So I've been on this rant about going to different Comic-Cons, doing a Q&A and everything. And I was like, well, this would be very interesting. So, I interview everyone, and I like giving people a chance, to make a long story short.
Well, if I may interrupt and add that you're a great interviewer, I would say I wouldn't even know that you had any of those disabilities or whatever you mentioned.
I appreciate it. You're a sweetheart.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful, too, what you said about, you could have let it, lead you in a way where it was, kind of where you could suffer. It's like you could kind of give into that and just be like, well, I can't do all these things. I guess whatever, you throw in the towel. But instead you used it as a gift, and you're now, you're doing wonderful things, and you're allowing people to share their stories, and well done, Keith. That's pretty awesome. Keep it up.
Oh, absolutely. Now wrapping up, are you on LinkedIn, Stage 32, Twitter? How can your fans follow you?
Oh my gosh, I'm on every platform, Keith. This is how it is now. It's social media is taking over our world. I'm on everything. I've got Facebook, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, Twitter, LinkedIn. Seriously, you name it, I'm on it. But whatever link you posted on, I can share that link on all my platforms. So I will share it. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, well, wrapping up the interview segment, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show. It was a real honor and privilege.
Thanks for having me.